I normally record Monday nights. That way Tuesday I could get everything edited and ready to go for Wednesday, right? This past Monday, I ain't get home till about 11 p.m. All right. I ate, got my setup ready, and recorded it, right? Everything went well until I realized that I didn't hit fucking record on my mic, which I'm about to realize in 3, 2, 1. So now it's about 1 in the morning, and I have a decision to make. Do I record all over again, or do I wake up early and do this in the morning? And for those of you wondering, Dizzy, why don't you just record Tuesday afternoon or in the evening on Tuesday? And it's because Tuesday I had plans to see top, man, top.
I cut off my day once for the win. I just put up in that black made bet you can't see in. Up got plenty of racks, I keep that strap with one cocked in. Not even close with family, why the fuck would I want?
So I decided to just stay up and record, and here's my reaction.
Fuck this shit, man.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dizzy, and we're back with another episode, Halftime with Dizzy. That's all I got. Roll the shit. So, we're back with another episode. It is currently Tuesday morning, 1:15 a.m., and I'm recording this for a second time because my dumb ass forgot to hit record on my microphone the first time. And so I had to debate whether or not I was going to record again or wake up early, and I'm not waking up early for shit. So here we are. And if me doing this all over again doesn't earn me a subscriber, then I don't know what is ultimately going to do that. Let's get into the game plan, okay? We're going to start with the halftime headlines. Jets, Steelers, Cajon, Etiwanda, 2 games that I specifically watched this past weekend. I'll get into that a little bit more later. 2 new segments, Flag on the Play, and if you know, you know. A message from the mailman. We got He's Diffy. You see, there's no predictions this week because these bum-ass teams keep letting me down. So I'm just going to take a week to reflect and really decide next week who's actually gonna come through for your boy when I make a fucking prediction. And then we got the halftime speech. If you notice a little attitude in my voice, is because, again, I already recorded all this shit already, and I forgot to hit record on my damn mic. So I'm a little upset, but I'm still gonna give you a fucking show because that's just what I do. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You could take the I don't know what I was about to try to say, but again, hit the subscribe button, please, if you're not subscribed already. This is the type of stuff I go through. I just got done with a long day at work, and I'm in this garage pushing out this content, man. Give a brother a subscribe. Show a nigga some love.
Don't ask. I said don't ask. I said don't ask. No questions. Just give the money.
And without further ado, man, let's get into these halftime headlines. So this past weekend was week 1 of the NFL season, and I was assigned the Steelers-Jets game, and I didn't really know what to expect going into the game. I mean, these are 2 teams with 2 quarterbacks that I'm not very high on. These are 2 teams I kind of felt the same about, like the talent here and there won't go far. But it wound up being a pretty good game. Steelers end up winning 34-32. Chris Boswell kicks his 60-yard field goal to give them the lead late. Jalen Ramsey, a big hit to stall out the Jets' drive and give the Steelers the win. And I thought I'd just give my thoughts on... Sorry, nose was itching a little bit. I'm going to bust through. I ain't even going to try to start over and try to get it right and cut and shit. We just going to bust through this shit. I thought I'd give my thoughts on how I felt about each team after the game and moving forward. Starting with the Jets. Justin Fields, boy was in rare form. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boy was in rare form. Played really well in all aspects of the game. Throwing the ball, running the ball, managing the game. I mean, there were really good drives up and down the field that Justin Fields led, and I was very impressed. He did really well, and but the biggest takeaway from me for the Jets was just the fact that Aaron Glenn is simply implementing the same Rough Rider mentality and the tough culture that he helped build in Detroit. I mean, their physicality, they're going for it on 4th down. First drive of the game when they're after they score, they're going for 2. Again, the physicality, the way, Aaron Glenn on the sideline, but flexing and shit. Part of my job on Sunday was to go through post game press conference and listen for anything good. And one thing that I found very interesting was that Aaron Glenn he put his foot down right away. He said, "There's no more victories in this shit," and that turnover that costed them late in the game, that ain't happening no more. If you turn the ball over, you will not step on the field. He said that word for word. And so again, it's just implementing that toughness. And if you're gonna get this type of play from Justin Fields on a consistent level and he can show that he's a franchise guy, I think that the Jets can be the Lions, sorry, of the AFC in terms of a team that slowly, after an offseason or two, winds up being one of the best teams in football. Think about that first year under Dan Campbell. The Lions weren't good right away. They were still shit, okay? But they laid the foundation, laid the culture in that locker room, and then after a couple off seasons, drafting Penei Sewell and Brian Branch and Sam Laporta, guys like that. Now they're one of the best teams in football. If Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner can be your starting pieces, your building blocks, and Aaron Glenn is really building that culture, building that foundation, this team can be good and the Jets can finally be a good franchise for the first time in a very long time. Let's move on to the Steelers. A lot of people were going crazy. Aaron Rodgers is back, vintage Rodgers, all this stuff, and acting like now the Steelers are some Super Bowl contender. And I'm just going to say real quick, man, pump the brakes, all right? Like Aaron Rodgers would say back in the day, relax, okay? Yes, he did play well. 244 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Very impressive. He did look good at Arthur Smith's offense, but I do have some concerns about this Steelers team. First, the defense. I mean, this is what the Steelers are known for, and to allow the points that they allowed against the Jets is pretty concerning. Not a huge concern ultimately, because I know Mike Tomlin is going to have this defense good to go and have them finishing as a top defense in the NFL. They have the pieces to be a top defense in the NFL, so I believe that they will be. But my concerns are on the offensive side of the ball. One, I don't think there's enough weapons, specifically running the ball. I mean, you only had, let me double check how many, 20 carries for 53 yards. That's just not going to fucking cut it. And then your quarterback can't run for shit either. Aaron Rodgers is 41 going on 42. And I feel like in week 1, Aaron Glenn, he set the blueprint for how to stop this Steelers offense. And that's send zone pressures. If you flood the field with pressure on one side and zone on the other, this O-line, it's not good enough to pick it up. And by the time Aaron Rodgers thinks, oh shit, I gotta go, he's on the ground. And he was getting hit by Quinnen Williams, Will McDonald, Quincy Williams, and getting hit hard, brought down hard. And I'm just thinking, if these pressures are getting to him and he's getting hit like this now, how is he gonna take Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, Roquan Smith, just putting 280 pounds of dude in his ass twice a year when he faces that AFC North division? So I think that, ultimately, yeah, it was a good win. The new additions look good. Jalen Ramsey looked good. Darius Slay was cool. DK looked good. But I think that this is just another Mike Tomlin team that is going to be the same as they were or as they've been for the last decade, and that's just making the playoffs. Winning season. Of course, we're gonna sit here and go crazy about how Mike Tomlin still hasn't had a losing season, but they're gonna lose in the first round, and we're gonna wonder what they're doing next year. Let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk some high school football, man. My homie Shamar hit me up and he said, "Hey, if you got the day off, the hottest game in the IE, Cajon and Etiwanda." I had the day off, so I headed down to Cajon. 34-19, Cajon got the dub. I caught up with Marcus Washington, freshman quarterback for Cajon. Afterwards, he was a too nice player of the game. Listen to what he had to say.
All right, I'm here with Marcus Washington, the too nice player of the game. He helped lead his team to a big win over Etiwanda, 34-19. Showed off your dual threat ability. How does it feel to get this win at home?
Feels great, man. First varsity home game as a freshman. It was great. The hospitality out here. It's a lot of noise. Just had to zone it out and focus.
Yeah, man. You guys started a little slow offensively, but then got going later. What did you see out there that allowed you to get going against this Etiwanda defense?
I seen they was blitzing a lot, so we was going over top and taking them up top, going deep.
You ended up having a 90-yard touchdown run later in the fourth quarter. What was going through your mind on the way to the end zone?
I was tired at first, but I was like, man, I gotta run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You mentioned that you're only a freshman, but you're the quarterback. That makes you the leader.
yeah.
What are some of the things you've been telling your guys coming into this game to make sure you guys got your first win of the season?
It build me up, build my confidence up. Tell me how things going. Varsity football different. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You guys finally got the first win out the way. How far do you think you could lead this team the rest of the way?
Deep playoff run. That's the goal right now.
That's a talented kid right there, man. And there was a lot of talent on the field at that game. But I'm gonna be honest when I speak about this game and recap this game. It wasn't a good game. It wasn't. I know you hear the score 34-19. Okay, it might have been back and forth for a little bit. Firework. No. No, no. The score does not tell the whole story. Um, Again, a lot of talent, mainly coming from the Cajon side. But it wasn't the game that I would have thought is produced by that talent. And honestly, man, I'm gonna put it on the coaching. I really am. I'm not trying to, call nobody out or disrespect nobody, but I'm just gonna call it exactly how I see it. And I'm gonna start with Etiwanda, man. No creativity on the offensive side of the ball, and it really was getting on my nerves. Okay, it was real vanilla, real plain and simple, just trying to run smash mouth football, which is cool, but once you've established that that's what you're doing, you can't just keep doing it for 4 quarters and expect the defense to never figure it out. Like they were just doing that the entire game, and it was producing nothing. They weren't scoring points until late in the game when it was like, okay, now we really got to score. And in defense of the coaching staff at Etiwanda, I don't think Etiwanda has the personnel that they've had in recent years with some of the good receivers they've had in order to throw the ball around the field and stuff. But regardless, you got to mix it up a little bit. You got to add things to your offense and add things to what you do in order to at least give your guys an opportunity to make plays. At least if you think straight up, okay, our athletes aren't going to beat their athletes, do some things to make them beat themselves. And I'll show you right now. I got the whiteboard out. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. But also there were things that made me question, like, were y'all watching film? Like, again, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody because I know you guys are the coaching staff there for a reason, and I'm not trying to call nobody out. But it's like there were things that Cajon kept doing defensively that I'm like, how are you not countering this? How are you not count? One of the things was the fact that they substituted on almost every play. Almost every play that had a D line coming in and out the game. And when you're doing when you see a team doing that, you gotta go no huddle. You gotta go quick on the ball, snap the ball quick, catch them with 12 guys on the field. Or if they're in a certain personnel that they don't like being in, keep them in that shit and just stay on the ball and stay running your offense so that they can't adjust and they can't make their personnel switches. The other thing that Cajon's defense kept doing, they kept jumping off sides. So if I'm Etiwanda offense, I'm going hard count on every fucking play. Get those free yards every way that you can get. Again, if you're outmatched personnel wise in terms of athlete for athlete. But let me show you what I mean by the creativity. I was taking videos of the game all night, and so I was able to look back at the film and see, uh, and I was able to see some of the things that they were running and how Cajon was aligning to it. So let me draw this up real quick. How y'all doing though, man? How y'all living? That's what's up. Let's see, like Will corner, nickel corner, free safety. All right, so one of the formations that Etiwanda would run is a little 3-by-1 formation, nub tight end. And this is kind of how I'm hoping that this comes out good. So here's how the formation looked and the look that they were getting against the look that Etiwanda was getting against Cajon, right? And right off the bat, you can see if you just split the field in half, you have way more people to the offense's right than to the left. But again, this is what I mean by mixing it up a bit and adding a little more flavor to your offense in order to make the defense guess and make the defense beat themselves if you can. Me personally, if I called an offense, there will be a motion on every single damn play. Motion, shift, something. So we're gonna have the number 3 come all the way across and then run back across. The reason why I like doing that is because you kind of see almost like a picket fence across the second level. And if you're gonna get guys yelling bump, 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 and then you run your guy back over, now it's like, oh shit, do I bump back? What's going on? And before they can think and react, you snap the ball. So we're gonna have him come across. I'll show you what it all looks like in the end. But it's just gonna be an RPO. So block here. We're gonna have here, these two for here. Got a tight end, get down to the backer. Got guard, kick out, tackle, pull up. For anything else, quarterback's gonna read this guy and this guy. Simple counter play. So this is what it looks like. I'm really hoping y'all could see this and that it being white. I think I could see it. Yeah, I think we're good here. Yeah, okay, now I can see everything else going fucking dark though, but fuck it. Okay, look, this is how this is how it comes out. So if you see the people that are circled and it's like a dotted circle, that's who the quarterback's reading. So it's starting with that end. If that end crashes with the tackle and the guard, your quarterback's gonna pull it. He's not gonna hand it off and he's gonna get going. If the next guy, the Sam that's in that dotted circle, if he crashes down on the quarterback, you're gonna throw it right away to your H who's motioned out to the flats, and you got 2 blockers for 2 defenders, and now your H is one-on-one with the free safety. Those are the type of things that you add to your offense in order to, again, you're still getting the same stuff. It's still just counter. But now you're adding an extra element to it to, again, make the defense react, make the defense think, and not just be straight power and inside zone to where they were playing a USC commit linebacker. You don't think that he's gonna snuff that out? Like, make him think a little bit. Make him think again. Make the defense, try to mess up their communication and not know what's going on. Make the Cajon burn a timeout because they don't know what's going on. So that's the type of things, just little stuff like that, little motions and little RPOs that I would run if I was Etiwanda going up against that Cajon defense. Now let's switch to Cajon and what I saw from them offensively. First and foremost, man, if you go athlete for athlete, I think it should have been a blowout. Based on the athletes Cajon had and the athletes that Etiwanda didn't really have, I think it should have been a blowout. So that I'm gonna start by saying that. Where I think Cajon messed up offensively is, it's later now, so I didn't just eat. I ate, earlier, and so it's kind of, burping it up a little bit, got a little bit of flatulence, but we're gonna keep going. Cajon was where I feel. Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Where I feel Cajon messed up at was, one, Marcus Washington, hell of an athlete. They weren't utilizing him enough in the run game, and then they have a dog in Landon White, and they were not feeding him. He had a great catch in the first drive. Marcus just threw it up to him, and over 2 defenders, Landon White comes down with it, and they didn't go back to him the rest of the game. I think he might have had 2 targets after that. You gotta feed him. You gotta feed your dogs when it's feeding time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta feed them. And again, if you go through my Twitter and you scroll through my tweets, I was sitting there saying at halftime, you got to utilize Marcus Washington's athleticism. All they were running was, again, straight downhill, vanilla plays with their run, which the running back's really good. He runs really hard, so I can't even be mad at that. It's just about the fact that there's no creativity and you're not utilizing everyone and their full potential. And when they finally did use Marcus Washington, I keep wanting to say Marcus Freeman. When they finally did use Marcus Washington in the run game, he took a QB draw 90 yards to the house. So here's what I would run if I was Cajon and Marcus Washington was my running back. So let's draw up. a look that one of the formations Cajon had and how Etiwanda aligned to it. Will, Mike, Sam, corner, Sean. All right, so this is one of the formations that, let's see, darken a little so you can see it. Yeah. All right, so this is one of the formations that Cajon was running, a little 3-by-1 with a little wing by the tight end. And then this is how Etiwanda was aligning to it. First thing you should notice is the fact that the X receiver is on the island with the corner. That's Landon White. Again, it should have been check, fade ball all day when you know the coaches saw that defensively. But again, if you just split the field in half and count the guys on each side, the ball should be going to the left, and it should be going to the left with Marcus Washington. Here is the first play that I would run if I was Cajon against this Etiwanda defense. I'm going to move the back over to the other side, and I'm just going to run straight QB power. Let's draw this up. So I'm going to go here, boom. He's going to go there. For these two, for him, for those two, I'm gonna go boom. He's gonna go down there. He's gonna come across and kick out. Running back's gonna lead up, be a free blocker. Block here, and here. Marcus Washington is gonna go score a touchdown. They don't have enough guys to stop this right here. Hope y'all can see that well. Just simple QB run, man. And again, I think that that those are the type of plays Cajon needs to add to their bag, because they have a quarterback that, I mean, I'm not gonna make no comparisons, but it was a little Lamar Jackson-esque with seeing Marcus Washington run the ball out there, man. Just his athleticism, his speed, and again, he's only a freshman, so if you can get him nailing these plays down now, imagine him as a senior and the things that you can run with him. But overall, man, you know, like I said, wasn't the greatest of games, wasn't the cleanest of games. Too many mistakes, too many flaws, too many penalties, and I think both these teams are Division III. And I don't know many teams in Division III, but I can't imagine that there aren't teams out there that can expose these two teams of the flaws that they have, specifically with the way the coaches decide to call plays and scheme and prepare their teams. But you know, appreciate Cajon for you know, having me out, having me on the sideline, and shout out to my guys, Landon White, Marcus Washington. I interviewed them both. I just showed you the Marcus Washington interview, but the Landon White interview is up on my channel. If you haven't seen it, please go ahead and check it out. And I mentioned penalties. Speaking of which, let's get into this new segment, Flag on the Play.
Flag on the play.
They wind up losing 14 yards.
How about from now on you call a fair game? How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. Wet Willie.
Flag on the play, man. If you watched me last year, this is very similar to Practice Makes Perfect. Whether it's stuff that the media says, players tweet out, memes, anything, man. Press conferences, anything. It's just stuff that, you know, you won't see when you're watching the game, but it's stuff that's still kind of important and stuff that I'm gonna react to and give my response to as well. Let's get into the first clip.
It is give us every opportunity with Dak Prescott and Lamb and the base that we've got to win now. And we made that commitment last year, and we're proud we made it. It had everything to do with this decision, everything. And so all you need to do, this would, I'm not so sure this would have been results had we not had Dak. But the fact that we have Dak, we need to stop the game. We really do. We need to get the ball back.
Listen, man, I know Jerry getting old, but he's just sounding dumb at this point. Just stupid. These are just stupid comments. You don't cut pieces of your face off in order to try to make yourself look better. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's essentially what they did. We trade away our best player because we want to stop the run. You sign Jake Ferguson to an extension, Deron Bland to an extension. Do they help you stop the run? I don't think so. Michael Parsons is a top 3 player in the NFC, and you traded him to another NFC team because you want to stop the run. Can you imagine if the Chiefs said, we're going to trade Patrick Mahomes to the Pittsburgh Steelers because we want to run the ball better? It just doesn't make sense. You don't get better by trading your best player away. That's just the bottom line.
And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so.
And so it's just funny to me because it's like you wanted to stop the run, so you go and get the Packers' best run stopper, and you let up 150 yards to the Philadelphia Eagles. Guess what the Packers did with Michael Parsons? They played the Detroit Lions, who have a great running game with Montgomery and Gibbs, and let up 46 rush yards with Michael Parsons, which means Michael Parsons was not the issue in you stopping the run. It was the pieces around him. Michael Parsons goes to a team with better pieces around him, and voila, is this a team that stops the run? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Sorry, Cowboy fans, I had to bring it up, but I had to. At some point, I had to. Let's move on to the next clip.
How's 0-1 sound?
Sounds alright to me, bro. Just gotta wait and see, huh?
Hopefully you'll oversleep.
Tyreek Hill, man, I'm starting to get tired of your ass. I ain't gonna lie. And in his defense, I don't know if he was being recorded because it looked like from the angle that the guy was trying to kind of hide the camera. But I just can't stand the fact that Tyreek Hill was in a winning situation with the Kansas City Chiefs, but wanted his money, so he left. I ain't mad at it. You want to get paid? Go ahead, get paid. Left to another team, got paid, and now he's mad that he's not in a winning situation. You chose to leave the winning situation you were in. And you know what? Top five right now, because this is shit I hate. Top five.
If you got a problem, take it up with my butt. He's the only one that gives a crap.
Top 5 most annoying niggas on the planet. Let's start with number 5. Niggas that walk with that little bounce at the end and walk on their toes. You know what I'm saying? When they get up on their toes, I hate that shit. Okay, I just hate it. Let's move on. Number 4, niggas that don't take accountability for their actions. I played with guys in college that sat there and wouldn't go to class, sleep through class, no homework, all types of stuff. And then wonder why they on academic probation, not eligible to play, and in study hall. Oh, it's because the coach don't. What? Man, my nigga, you have a 1.19. How do you and you don't know why you in the position you in? Come on, bro. I hate that shit right there. Number 3. Complainers. If you are a man that's always complaining about something, I don't look at you as a man. Point blank, period. Let's move on. I'm buzzing through this because I'm looking at my camera battery and that shit about to die. So we just gonna keep rolling. You know how I do. Number 2, probably should be number 1. Stinky niggas. If you don't shower, if you don't use deodorant, if you don't brush your teeth, there is a special place in hell for you, my good friend. Okay? Like I said, it probably should be number 1. I could go on for days on that, but number 1 for me is hypocrites. I hate people that expect something of you, expect you to do something, but they not willing to do it them damn selves. I hate that. Coaches, players, anything. I hate people who are hypocrites, and if you're a hypocrite, ooh, you gonna hear from me. You gonna hear from me every time. But as for Tyreek Hill, you probably fall in one of these categories, and I don't like it. And I don't like that that's how you've been ever since you joined the Dolphins. Let's move on to the next clip. I just got one question, bro. What the hell did Chris Olave do to the Saints to deserve his brain being put through so much time? I mean, receivers ain't blocking for his ass. Quarterbacks are saying, ooh, that safety coming downhill, I'm going to throw him the ball anyway. You know what he needs? My coworker, Bo, Shout out to him. I'm gonna give him the credit for this one. He said that Olave needs one of those guardian cans, but it needs to be from Tempur-Pedic. It needs to be. You know what he needs actually? This was mine. I ain't giving the credit to nobody else. This was mine. He needs fucking juggernauts. He needs a juggernaut from the Wolverine and the X-Men movies. He needs one of those helmets right there. That's it for Flag on the Play, man. If you see clips, whether it's funny, goofy, or serious, a press conference, hey, did you see this? Send them my way, man, and I'll get them on here and I'll react to them. Let's move on to the new segment that a lot of y'all are probably watching and waiting for. Message from the mailman.
It's your ass, Mr. Postman.
In the mind.
Message.
What's good, little homie? Look, I get off at 5. I can come through. We can ghost ride the company whip.
How you like the new job?
Oh, man, it's some old bullshit.
So this segment is one where we're going to hear from a special guest. And the special guest is someone that we all have in our lives. And that's the crazy uncle. The crazy uncle that when you have a shorty and you you want to bring her around for the first time, you introduce her to mom, pops. But before we get to this crazy uncle, you got to be like, hey, babe, hey, I'm just warning you. It always starts with, I'm just warning you now. That's what it always starts with. And you guys all know what I'm talking about when I say that. But my crazy uncle, he slangs mail and he loves football, and he want to give his take for everybody here to listen to. And so we're going to hear what he has to say, and then I'm going to respond and react.
Yep, I hear you. What? Okay, so stay off the grass, right? Okay, I'll stay off the grass. Definitely gonna stay off the grass. You have a good day, ma'am. Bye now. I'm probably not gonna stay off the grass. But hello there. I'm here to talk about them boys. Green Bay Packers, we looking good? Look good for the first game. It was the first game. So 6-7, that's what they say now, 6-7, something like that. We got the guy in the first receiver we draft. He scores this much fantasy points, 0. But Micah came through, got him a sack. That's good. I'm glad we got a pass rusher, somebody that can rush the pass. The only thing is, that wasn't his problem. His problem was they gonna run straight at him. That's what they did in Dallas. They ran straight at him. So, looking for him to do something better with that and get a little better at that. And, we'll be a little bit better. As far as Mr. Love, I was ready and I was way over Rodgers. Like, I was tired of him, and I'm glad. I'm over him. Move on. Go make it to the second round with the Steelers or something like that. But Mr. Love is going to have to step it up. He's going to have to be a lot more consistent and better. It's hard to be consistent when your receivers are, I don't know. I'm not sold on receivers. Got some guys that can run and stuff like that, but they drop a lot of footballs, and there's not a guy that's like, I'm the guy. So all in all, Green Bay, I'm happy. I'm good. It's always good to get a win. It's hard to win. So it's good to get a win because the other team's trying to win too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always good with the win with the Green Bay Packers, and I like that. One thing that bothered me about the whole weekend is the Ravens still an elite defensive team? Because, for 25 years, we've been talking about how great a defense they were. And I remember watching some games where, boy, it seemed like they was out there trying to kill people. Now it's like DBs are suspect. Well, Hamilton's kind of nice. But DBs are kind of suspect. Backers look kind of slow and old. And the D-line just, they were doing their thing, I guess. They got a good rotation, 4 in and 4 out. They was working, but damn, they're on the field all damn game. So big boys can't play like that. But, I just don't think they're elite defense anymore. I think they've built their shit on offense. And if Lamar doesn't stop worrying about what everybody else talking about him running, man, run, bro. Run. That's what got you here, jumping over motherfuckers and striking the Heisman pose and shit. Like, that's what got you here. I'm glad you passing, you throwing the ball away. That's dope. The fumble by my big guy, I get it, man. It happens, bro. It sucks. It happened at that time, at that point in the game. It sucks. But I still think he's one of the baddest ones, bro. Period. Other than that, all in all, it was a good weekend. I wasn't really looking forward to any games. The Rams are playing nice. I wasn't really looking forward to any games besides the Packer game because I wanted to see what Micah was going to come out and do with that tight back. You know what I'm saying? He got a tight back. Shut the fuck up, man. But anyways, we'll see what's popping. Other than that, I'm going to get back to giving these motherfuckers their bills and walking on people's grass because I don't fucking care about your grass, dog. Water it. Water your grass before you tell me to stop walking on the grass. You know what I'm saying? Period. It's been delivered.
If you couldn't tell, Unk's a big Packers fan, and you Cowboy fans, take notes, man. The Packers put belt to ass on the lines, but he ain't sitting there. Unc ain't sitting there saying that they gonna go win the Super Bowl and all this, that, and the third. No, he keeping it humble. He's still saying, "Hey, this is the things we gotta work on. This is the things we gotta look out for." I agree with him on Jordan Love. I think this team goes as far as Jordan Love takes them. If he takes that next step, I think that this team can be a Super Bowl contender. I think that Jordan Love, it's up to what he decides to do in the big moments. I still don't understand why people don't talk about the fact that the Packers probably should have been in the NFC Championship game a couple years ago, but Jordan Love, I feel, choked it away with 2 interceptions against the Niners. They were in that game. Aaron Jones was running crazy on the Niners. The defense was looking good. Jordan Love just had to deliver, and he didn't. I think if he takes that next step with the addition of Michael Parsons, with Josh Jacobs, with Matthew Golden, the number 1 wide receiver, the first-round draft pick, I think he can take that next step, and if he does, this team becomes a Super Bowl contender. Another thing pointed out, the Ravens defense. I also agree with him on that. They did not look good at all against the Buffalo Bills, and I had high hopes on them. I picked the Ravens to win the game strictly because I felt like the Ravens would be the team to get the stop when the stop was needed, and I was wrong. It was the other way around. The Bills were the team that did that, and the Ravens straight up shit the bed. That's just there's no way around it. Jair out there struggling, can't cover he couldn't cover the floor if I gave him a rug. I mean, it was bad. It was real bad out there. Got Keon Coleman looking like fucking Randy Moss. So here's the thing, though. I do think that it's week 1, and I think that ultimately this Ravens defense, like I said about the Steelers, they have the pieces to be an elite defense, and I think that with the leadership of Roquan Smith and the experience of John Harbaugh, I think they'll find a way to mesh this defense together, and they'll be okay moving forward. That was message from the mailman, man. I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna be having them on all throughout the season. Let me know if there's anything in specific that you want him, in particular, I should say, you want him to talk about, and I'll let him know. Let's move on to He's Diffie.
Wide open man. A flick into the end zone by Jerome Simpson. Oh, goodness.
We got someone who is different at each level, high school, college, NFL. Let's start with high school, man. Ryan Salcedo, 5 touchdowns against Valencia to give them the win in a nail-biter, man. He put the team on his back, had a huge run at the end of the game to give them the lead with under a minute left. And here's what I want to say about that. Coach Jason Harris, one of the best football minds that I know, one of the best people that I know. You, sir, not to be weird, but you, sir, have a pair on you. You do. 1 minute left. You don't have all your timeouts. You're on your own side of the field at about the 25 or so. Obvious pass situation, right? 2-minute situation. Let's throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? We got to throw the ball, get out of bounds, all that stuff, right? And this dude runs outside zone to the boundary. Outside zone to the fucking boundary. Are you shitting me? It's an hour ride. It was an hour car ride from Valencia to Rancho. And the whole time I'm just sitting there like, he really called outside zone to the boundary. That was really what he called in that situation. And it worked. That's the crazy thing. It worked. Ryan Salcedo took it for 70 plus yards and it gave them the lead with under a minute left. And I just couldn't believe that was the play call. But the real MVP of the game, Donnie B, special ops, a block punt and a kick return that really changed the momentum of the game. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Big win from our Amat Lancers. Let's move on. USF. I called them out last week I called Boise State out last week for losing to USF, but really I was just unfamiliar with their game. They beat up on Florida, led by DJ Lagway, ranked Florida. If they beat Miami this week, holy shit. Shout out to those boys at USF. Let's move on. Josh Allen. 400 plus total yards of offense, man. Just the true definition of MVP. When you talk about all the pieces around him, he doesn't have the same amount of pieces that these other quarterbacks have, and yet he's still balling on an elite level. What can I say? He's the MVP for a reason, the reigning MVP for a reason. That's it for He's Diffie. Real quick, man, I'm moving. Let's go to the halftime speech.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. There's a difference. Right? There's a difference.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it. I'm putting my heart in this dog. Let's go, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Lord, just want to start your heart and find out who you really are. Make sure you look at your teammate today, and you come out and you give pure hell today. This team ain't ready for us. Let's prove that they ain't ready for us. Oh, get in here. Let's go. Get in here right now. Get in here. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives.
I got to keep this short. I got to keep this sweet, man. Again, just to get you through the rest of the day, rest of the week, rest of the month, just like coach gives a halftime speech to get his team through the rest of the game. Just be conscious of what you're investing your time, your money, your energy in, because you don't want to look back and have regrets about it later on. Just make sure it's the right things, and you're just investing truly to things that are going to build you up and get you to where you want to be ultimately. Just a quick, gut check, quick reality check to make sure that everything around you is moving the way it should, man. That's all I got. Like I said, my camera's about to die.